Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We got Vince.
A priest, a minister, and a rabbi all go to a baseball game.
We got Chris.
I'm sorry I called you a pooper.
And I'm Kia. Hello, welcome to the show. We're doing some comics today. We're reading some comics. That's what we do every time. Today we are
comics
reading
based on radio.
A comic based on a radio play from the 40s, and it's set in the 40s, but it came out 2019.
Yeah.
2020. Yeah. It is a comic called Superman Smashes the Klan, and it is exactly what you expect, but it's also not what I expected at all for this book to be here. We'll get into all that here. And of course, we're continuing our long read of the Thunderbolts. We're on issue 22. Are we just going to do the whole thing at this point? Who knows? We'll see. I don't think that's going to happen.
I think after issue 75, it changes format and becomes what people call fight bolts. Let's not do that.
Honestly, I want to get to that point. Whenever we stop reading Thunderbolts, we should at least just read those last terrible issues.
I've been thinking
bad.
I've been thinking about that for April Fool's Day. We could just jump ahead.
Jump ahead? Okay, hey, maybe. But Superman Smashes the Klan. So like Vince said, it's an old 1940s radio play about Superman beating up the KKK. And in 2019, a Chinese author named Gene Luen Yang wrote an adaptation of it. It's a 3-issue series, so I thought it was going to be pretty short. Nope.
200 pages later.
First misconception. They're 80 pages each. This is like a 9-issue comic I read for this series here. Really, they're big.
It's like 3 little One Piece mangas.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like single issues.
Yeah, they're big. And art by they're a Japanese art team. Gurihiru, is that right?
Yep.
2 women.
Yes.
And again, just kind of not a look I really expected. It's very cartoony. But like good cartooning, not like it does remind me of a kids comic, but it's more detailed and nicer. We'll talk about that more as we go too,
yeah,
but it is good.
They're like one of them is like the pencils and inking, and then the other one is the colorist on Gurihiru. And I know them from the Power Pack comics in the mid 2000s that I really liked, where it was like a bunch of 4-issue things where Power Pack teamed up with the Fantastic Four or the Hulk or X-Men for 4 issues, and just like fun, very cartoonish writing, which I feel like this book is meant for children or like preteens or something, but
yeah,
it's very much like, hey, the KKK is bad. Although it's a legally distinct KKK, because in the 1940s, the Ku Klux Klan was quite litigious.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kia, did you read? Because I had the hardcover of this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the unlimited version or wherever you read. Did you read the little things at the back that talk about the history of this book?
They were in there, but I did not read them.
It's pretty interesting. It is like it's a very similar story in radio in the mid 1940s. In like 1946 or 47, that they really had this like multi-part radio serial about Superman fighting a version of the KKK. It really did hurt the 20th century KKK to have like Superman be like vocally opposed to them, and so it's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I can imagine. Although I don't know how you judge that. Like, how do you like? I think last time we said like the Klan membership did decline after that radio play, but how do you know if it's because of that? Like, yeah. I don't know. Do they have actual numbers?
They don't have numbers. They were talking about how the Klan like was very successful. Obviously, like immediately after. This is the stuff that we'll just talk about the KKK. The Klan was immediately successful after the Civil War. And then things kind of just like died out. And then Birth of a Nation, the movie, came out in 1915. And that movie had burning crosses. Apparently the KKK didn't burn crosses till they saw a movie. That's how dumb these white supremacists are.
Oh,
and
so that kind of like boosted their membership again with like I guess Jim Crow laws. I don't know exactly things, but again, like all that kind of stuff kind of fell apart, lost interest, especially like post World War II, and the KKK turned into more like a money making, like kind of grift, according to the articles in the back of this thing.
I mean, it always was, but it was less of a successful
grifting on racists for money. and their hatred. Much like some political parties may like incent some racists today, huh? To boost billionaires, huh? Very similar. But like yeah, so
No, they're anti-elites, Vince. Those billionaires are against the elites. They're not courting hatred. But yes, this. So, Kia, did you know anything about this going into this book?
I
It sounds like
knew
you're.
nothing about this at all.
And it's also, if you're reading the digital version, you're not seeing that it's like manga sized if you're picking it up at the store, which is kind of your first clue that this might be a little manga influenced.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and for me, I didn't realize that the Klan didn't pick on just black people, because they're picking on a Chinese family in this book. White supremacists, white supreme against everybody, I guess.
I mean, they don't care for the black police officer that is working on the case, believe it or not.
Yeah, like they're definitely racist against everyone, including Superman.
Yes.
But the focus is on a Chinese family who is kind of like our main characters throughout all this, which we'll get into all that. And yeah, it's I don't know. Let's get into it. I didn't take great notes. I'm gonna admit that right off the bat here, because this thing was long. Sometimes I read comics and I take notes as I go. Sometimes I'll finish it and then I'll go back and take some notes. This thing was so big, and it was like, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. It was just a lot, and it like flows very well. It's a nice read. So we'll do our best to kind of go through everything, but we're not going to be able to cover everything because there's a lot happening.
There's a lot. I was just flipping back through, like, oh right, there was that whole kryptonite thing in this story. I completely forgot about that until I was flipping back through it.
Yeah, and just to kind of go over some of the stuff that we're getting into here. Like I kind of, I expected a story, Superman smashing the Klan. I expected it to be set in the 40s, but I didn't really realize what that would entail, and that it was just kind of like an exploration, almost an origin story for young Superman, who is fairly, it doesn't say really how long he's been Superman, but he's very clearly new-ish at being Superman,
Right.
Well, and I believe timeline-wise, Superman didn't fly in the comics. I think the article said the radio show invented that. Chris, is that correct?
I think the cartoon invented it, actually. Okay. The Fleischer cartoons.
So like, because he doesn't
really
fly,
had no idea.
Because he doesn't fly in this book. He just leaps tall buildings in a single bound. Like that's what he's doing at this point.
At the start, yes.
Mm-hmm.
At the start, he's running along power lines, which is kind of crazy. But you're just like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he's jumping big. He's running fast. He's being strong. But he's very specifically only doing things that just like humans can do, but better. Well, we'll get into the reasons for all that as you.
It is like not to go to final thoughts or give this book too much credit, but it's like this is very nuanced. How like Superman like being like, well, I don't want to be an alien is similar to like Tommy being like, well, no, I'm American, I want to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the complexities therein.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, let's jump right into it here. We open with Superman beating up some Nazi supervillain, Atom Man, is that his name?
Yes.
And he's powered by like a kryptonite thing in his chest, and this seems to be his first time encountering kryptonite ever. Like he's feeling weak. And he's talking about the smell. Even after it's gone, he's like, "Oh, that smell is like lingering," which it was very interesting to me. I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about the smell of kryptonite, but I liked it. It was weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I thought that was a good touch though, because he could as the issue goes on, he can't get it off of him. He's like, "It fucking smells on my suit. God damn it! What the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, and Lois is telling Clark, like, "Why don't you try taking a shower, do some laundry?" We also meet our main protagonist throughout this whole thing. There's a Chinese family, the Lee family. They have two kids, Roberta and Tommy. Although those are their Americanized names. The dad is all, like, the mom has just moved from China. The dad has been there a little longer, and the dad's always like, "Please speak English," kind of really trying to be American. And they're moving from Chinatown to Metropolis proper because he's got some new job at what's this place called? Like the Metropolis Health Center or something like that.
It's the health department.
Health department, yeah. So they're moving over. The daughter, Roberta, the daughter is really our main character throughout all this. She's getting sick in the car because she very regularly gets motion sickness. Her and her brother are always kind of arguing, but they do seem to love each other. What else to say about them right off the bat? Nothing else. Clark is still dealing with this kryptonite stuff. He's looking in the mirror and seeing himself as like a scary green alien looking thing, and he's like, what the hell? No. Which seems to be mostly in his head.
He starts hallucinating his parents as aliens.
Yeah. And at this point, does he even, like, basically knows that he's an alien, although he's not really positive about it, right? We'll see more of that as it goes, but just kind of from overhearing what his parents have said, he's like, I think I'm an alien. So the Lee family has moved into their new home here, and a couple of the scientists from the health department show up to kind of welcome him and give him his new lab coat. One of them is definitely racist.
Yes.
One of these guys, he's a real prick.
Yes.
The other one is a fat, jolly-looking guy with a mustache. He can't possibly be bad, right?
No,
We're gonna
that
learn.
one.
Yeah, that's the good one.
That's the good one. He's got to be the good one.
I mean, he's already making like the skinny mean one is already like obviously racist. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, I made you a pie. It's apple, not dog, and just like real like stereotypical.
Whoa.
And like, there's so much very overt and like stupid racism throughout this book, and I'm not saying that as an insult to the book, and I'm saying that as just like, oh my god, it was a lot. Like, God, racists suck.
Yeah, it sucks, and I mean, it's supposed to be obvious for children because I think this book is meant for like preteens, and definitely the radio show was. But also at the same time, there's a nuance of like, fun fact: the chubby sweet guy also racist.
Yes.
Yep.
He's just gonna be racist in a more like insidious way, and I'm like, see, there's your nuance though on top of that, so that's good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The two kids, Roberta and Tommy, they meet Jimmy Olsen, who is a kid. He is on the this baseball team, the United House baseball team, UH. It did make me kind of laugh that all their caps say on there, UH.
Yeah, go Cougars, University of Houston. That's not the joke you're going.
Oh, is that no? Just
It's like a YMCA group kind of thing. It seems
something like that. Yeah. And Tommy kind of shows up, and they're like, "Whoa, this kid can really pitch." And they're like, "We're gonna make you our starting pitcher." And the existing starting pitcher, guess what? He's racist. He's a kid, and he's a racist. And he's like, "Well, you're to replace me with this Chinese kid? What are you talking about, man?"
Well, even
his name's Chuck.
And then meanwhile, like Roberta, the sister's like watching the game, talking with some white girls, and they're being nice, but they ask if she's Chinese or Japanese. And when she says Chinese, the girl's like, "Oh, thank God," because I mean we're post-war, but like shit, come on,
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So this racist kid Chuck, the old pitcher, is like, "Hey, show me your best pitch. I'll see if I can hit it." And Tommy was like, "Well, step back. I might bean you," and he does bean him. He beans him hard and like hurts his arm. And
he was
the
crowding
kid,
the plate.
he really was.
He was asking for it, like Greg Biggio.
Yeah. And this Chuck kid just continues to be a real asshole until Jimmy Olsen's like the leader of the team? Is that what it is? Because he fires Chuck. Yeah,
He's like the coach or the manager, I guess.
something like that.
Also, the fact that they're Chinese lets them get away with calling them slurs, and you're like, well, I guess this could be worse. It's a slur that I can read in a all ages book.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, like I said, very overt. So as they're leaving, Roberta's like, "Hey, why'd you do that, Tommy? Like, you're fitting in so well, and I've never been able to fit in anywhere. Like, you're like, don't mess it up." They're having a little argument, so Roberta runs ahead and all that. Then we meet this Chuck kid's uncle, Uncle Matt. And Chuck is telling his uncle, like, "Oh, I got fired from the baseball team because I hired this new Chinese kid." And he's like, "Oh, my God, what? We have to stop this." And like, "All right, I think you're old enough to come see the secret." And his Uncle Matt is the Grand Scorpion of the they never actually say KKK. Do they even ever say Klan in this book?
They call him
I
the
think they
Clan
do,
of the
yeah.
Fiery Cross, with a CLAN, not
Yeah.
K. And that is because they were quite litigious. They would sue, like how people criticize Scientology today. It was based. I'm not saying the Scientologists are the Klan. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that like there is a fear that if we call this by their name, that the KKK might sue us. And that
Yeah.
was back in the radio shows times.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Clark is still having these visions. His parents in these visions are like, "You're remembering." He's like, "What?" Um, Mom is talking to the daughter and kind of giving her some hope of like, "Oh, you'll make friends here. You know, you just got to find some secrets. Once you find the secrets about a new place, it starts to feel like home," which is a nice kind of sentiment. And then we see the Klan burning across outside the Lee's new home. And honestly, this is the first time where I was like, I liked the art, the cartoony art. Like overall, it's really good art. I felt weird seeing like clan members in this cartoony art, you know?
Yeah,
Like there's
it's
something
like
off
a
about it.
Batman. It's not Batman TAS style, but it is close to Darwin Cook with a little manga influence, and that's kind of weird to see.
It
Like
is.
Batman, it would have been weird to see Batman fighting Klansmen. If you can picture that image, that from
Yeah.
that cartoon, that's what this is like.
Yeah. So Uncle Matt has taken his son Chuck, put him in the robes and everything, there, and he's like, "All right, throw it into throw this bomb into their house." And he throws it, but he misses. He hits the gutter, and it bounces off. But Roberta recognizes the boots that he was wearing from the baseball game, and it's like, I know that's that same kid. Um, so all the clan members go running because the thing bounced away. And then Inspector Henderson, he's a cop in the city. He shows up along with a couple of his friends, and they're like, "Hey, do y'all need some help?" And Dr. Lee, the dad, is a little standoffish at first, but you know, then he kind of accepts their help, and you know, seems like they've got some friends.
Right. Again, like this is more nuanced than you would expect in a book like this. That
Mhm.
the Chinese father is like, look, I don't want more bad attention, so I don't want these. I don't want to be
Yeah.
associated with these black guys who were helping me put out a fire. And then he's like, oh, you're cops. Oh, phew.
Yeah, yeah. There's there's more nuance to go as we keep going throughout here. Um, then we get Clark remembering a flashback about how his like some bullies were gonna pick on him and his friend Pete, Pete Ross, who I'm just remembering Smallville. He was black in Smallville, and he's a white
Yes.
kid in this book. And I'm like, well, this is a book about racism. You couldn't have made him black, but no, I guess not.
I
That's
mean,
okay.
this is also like Kansas in like 1915 or
That's true.
1920 or whatever.
Smallville was a more modern take. That's true.
Yes, like I don't know that it was actually that diverse in Kansas back then.
Fair enough. But Clark is like, you know, getting pissed at these bullies, and he starts floating off the ground and does like red laser eyes and everything. And the kids go running, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And Clark is kind of remembering that moment as kind of a negative moment. Um, so we're continuing to go. Roberta and Tommy are having another little argument, and they split up. And Tommy gets kidnapped by the KKK. We also see the Department of Health is like they've got one of these dudes in a big old test tube.
It's
They're
it's
doing
the Atom
something.
Man from the beginning.
They're doing something weird, and they've got the kryptonite as well. What's with the? I don't think we actually know it's the Department of Health yet. Spoiler: it's the
Yeah,
Department of Health.
yeah. Lois figures that out in part
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. So Tommy gets kidnapped. Roberta finds his hat on the ground, and she's going running. The cops posted somebody outside the Lee's house 24/7 just to make sure they don't get any trouble. So Roberta goes running to this guy, and they're like, the cop is like, "Oh, you know, it's probably nothing. It's fine. Don't worry about it." So
Well, he
this
also
guy-
says
this
the
guy's fine.
city is very safe, especially for people like you. Talking about she's a model majority. This guy's fun fact also turned out to be a racist.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of racists.
Yeah, this is more like Chinese people get all the good stuff, man. DEI just helps everybody. Blah 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 blah. It's so tough being a white cop today.
Yes.
Yeah. Roberta runs to the Daily Planet because she knows Jimmy Olsen's a cub reporter there. She's just looking for anyone to help. And Clark goes running off to, turn into Superman and see if he can help this kid. Tommy is pretty resourceful. He punches one of the clan members and like rolls out of the car towards the river and falls in. And Roberta goes after the kid Chuck because she remembers seeing those boots and was like, I know you know where he is. He is a piece of shit. He starts swinging a baseball bat at Jimmy and Roberta. Oh my god! And he hits Superman, who's like, all right. We find out that this kid wears these boots because Superman's his hero. And Superman says, all right, I'm going to take you both. I'm going to carry you both under my arm and run to go look for this kid. Which, again, is so weird to me that he's just running. He's running everywhere. Weird. But then that takes us into issue 2 where they run to the river. That was all one issue. Yeah.
It's part 1 of 3.
Part 1. So they run to the river, and Superman is kind of trying to hear anything, and he can't hear anything. And the ghost of his parents show up, and I'm like, "Why are you just listening? You should try looking. Use all your powers, man."
Use your damn X-ray vision.
Yeah, and he's like, "What? How can I?" And again, this is one of those moments where I'm like, "Oh, I kind of, it didn't really dawn on me until now that Superman wasn't using all his powers. Like, I didn't even realize he wasn't flying just because, I don't know, oftentimes when Superman is just running fast, it's like, yeah, he's flying. It's basically the same thing, right? Nope. But Superman sees this kid in the river, goes down and gets him. Everybody's okay. It puts them, sends them home with Inspector Henderson. It's Roberta, Jimmy Olsen, and the Chuck kid, and they're all just kind of arguing. And Inspector Henderson kind of calms them down and says, "I'll come talk to you in the morning, Chuck." And they get Tommy to the hospital. Tommy's just happy to meet Superman. It's great. And when and Superman starts seeing his parents outside, and he's kind of hanging out there, just talking to himself, talking to his parents. He's remembering when those bullies that he scared with his flying and his heat vision, their crazy mom showed up and said, like, this kid's satanic, as my kids are saying he did this thing. And so Superman is just kind of remembering that and just wanting to be normal. Doesn't want to be an outcast. He's also remembering that when his parents found him, they found this weird radio, and his dad showed it to him, and it was like this weird alien language that people were speaking, but he hated it. He took this thing and just threw it away. He didn't want anything to do with it. He threw it in the river and put it down at the bottom of the lake. Roberta and Tommy at the hospital, and their parents show up, and Tommy doesn't say anything about being kidnapped by the KKK. He was just like, "Oh yeah, I was hanging out by the river and I fell in I was too close." Just kind of doesn't want their parents to worry, so Roberta goes along with it. Superman then outside gives Roberta his cape. And she's like, "Whoa, that's so cool." And now she loves it there. She's like, "It's so cool." Mom turns it into a jacket for her too. That's pretty neat. She mentioned in issue 1 that Roberta needed a new jacket, so it's nice continuity there.
Well, she had like a jacket from China, which definitely like showed her like, so it's very Chinese style. So she very much looked like an outcast, and she vomited all over it in the first issue. But she also thought it was comforting, and her dad's like, "Never mind, we're rich now. We should be like rich Americans. We'll get you a new jacket." And she's like, "I want my old jacket." So now she's got a Superman jacket, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So then the next day, there's a article in the paper. The headline is $1,000 award for the Klan of the Fiery Cross, and this Chuck kid's mom is showing him this article, like, "Hey, what do you think? This will finally get us out of your uncle's hair." And she goes, "I'm just playing." Like, what? And she's like, yeah, Klansmen are the worst, but like, Also, is it that bad to only want to live among your own kind? All right, I gotta go. Bye, son. Like, wait, what? But again, that is kind of that nuance of like people who don't think they're racist and like you're pretty racist though. Might not be on the Klan, but you're pretty racist, lady.
And also, she doesn't know that like her brother or her brother-in-law is super racist.
Yeah.
Well, and Perry White's also like, the Klan is in Metropolis? That happens elsewhere, not here. Which is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that because the idea is that Metropolis is like, this is like a modern new city. We don't have like old-fashioned prejudice here.
So Chuck goes talking to his Uncle Matt about all this stuff, and Uncle Matt says, "Hey, I've built a bomb." He like shows him this bomb. He says, "Stay away from the Unity House. We're at war, and I don't want you getting caught in the crossfire." And he's like, "Oh my god." Meanwhile, Tommy and Roberta have become super popular at the Unity House. Tommy gets to talk about how he met Superman. Roberta's got her new Superman jacket. They're making friends, which is great. And then Chuck runs in, and he doesn't want to outright tell everyone there's a bomb, but he's like, "Hey, why don't we go do this? Why don't we go to the movies or something?" And they were like, "Okay, yeah, sure, good idea." And so all the kids go to a movie. While a couple of KKK folks show up with the dynamite and ready to plant it. Lois is investigating the Department of Health. Why is she over there? I think she's trying to write an article about Dr. Lee, just to be like, okay, here's some of the good stuff you're doing here, and trying to speak with the head doctor, all that. And she sees some of the weird shit they're doing with this dude in the test tube. And that skinny asshole scientist is like, "Hey, you shouldn't be here." What's this guy's name? Dr. William Jennings. He sucks.
I do like that. That's Dr. William Jennings, and then we have the fat scientist looks like Teddy Roosevelt. So William Jennings Bryant and Teddy Roosevelt, two presidential candidates of about 30 years earlier than the story is set.
Interesting.
Just an Easter egg. It's not actually those characters, but they're made to look like. One's named like one, and one's made to look like one.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah, was William Jennings Bryan a racist dude or no?
He was kind of racist. He famously he was the lawyer in the Scopes monkey trial, saying that we couldn't possibly be evolved from monkeys. But that was a few years after his failed presidential run. This was back when Democrats were the racist ones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, weird time.
Yeah.
So at the movies, Roberta runs into a couple of her old friends from Chinatown who are a little bit standoffish, and they're like, "Yeah, They kind of say that she was standoffish, and like, you never really wanted to be friends with us." And they're like, "You can go sit with your new friends. That's fine." So Roberta really feels like a little bit of an outcast here. Like she's kind of never been able to make friends. Clark and Lois now are sitting in a coffee shop, and Clark is distracted by the image of his alien parents outside, and Lois thinks he's staring at some other lady, and so she's like, "I'm out of here." Poor Clark. So Clark runs up to the top of some roof, climbs up there so that he can talk to his ghost parents there, and not be called out for talking to himself. And they're like, "Why are you only using half your powers here? Why aren't you using everything?" Then during the movie, Roberta and all the kids are all watching this movie here, and they're talking about this alien, like, "Oh, evil alien scum," and like, "Oh, this guy can fly," and they're like, "Whoa, how does this guy fly?" It's just a fun adventure. Tommy and Chuck,
a super like Fu Manchu, like racist Mandarin type caricature.
Yeah.
Yellow Devil, Yellow Demon. I don't know. One of those kind of concepts.
Mm-hmm. So Roberta's not feeling great about that. But Tommy and Chuck are outside practicing their pitching. Tommy did break his arm, so he's not going to be able to pitch for the game here. So it is going to be Chuck, and Tommy's, just kind of giving him some pointers here. And they do seem like they're actually trying to be friends. Chuck really does seem like he's trying to be like a good guy. And Roberta kind of confronts him about all that and is like, hey, I know it was you there. And brother Tommy, who's also a pitcher, is like, hey, this guy's a good pitcher. Like, if he wanted to throw a bomb into our house, like, the window is way bigger than the strike zone. Like, he could have. Like, and Chuck's like, yeah, I missed on purpose. I didn't want to hurt anybody, that kind of thing. So they're kind of getting in his head, like, if you can help more people, you really should tell us, like, what was the deal with you trying to get us out of the Unity house? And he's like, oh yeah, I kind of know what's going on there. There's a bomb. But they're like, well, there might be other people there. We should go, like, take care of it.
He's very Cobra Kai coded.
Yeah,
and we were talking about that before recording. Not about this comic, just Cobra Kai in general. Like, he is, like, obviously a douchebag and, like, a complete failure of a person, but he's trying to do right in weird ways. It's very interesting.
Yeah, he's not fully like a bad guy. It's just, yes, that he has very bad influences in his life.
Yeah. Jimmy Olsen, when they get him, they kind of called him up and showed up at the Unity house with him. All 4 kids are there. Tommy goes to call the Daily Planet. I almost said Daily Bugle.
I know.
Daily Planet. And Roberta and Jimmy Olsen distract these Klan members who are trying to climb a rope into a window. And they're doing it Lois Lane style. Like, she's met Lois Lane and is like, hey, would you mind answering a few questions? And just distracting them weirdly. Clark overhears this call about Tommy trying to call the Daily Planet about what's going on, and so he runs off, helps them out.
But he doesn't stop the bomb because he doesn't have his super X-ray vision or ability to just, I guess, isolate his hearing like Daredevil or whatever. So he's just like,
yeah. He's like trying to listen for some ticking, but he's like, there's a bunch of clocks. That's all I'm hearing. What do I do? So he's not able to figure out the bomb. So he just kind of grabs all the people and flies out of there. But then they're like, wait a minute, why were there only 2 people here? Where's the rest of the Klan? And we realize that they are attacking the Daily Planet for running that story about stopping them. And, like, one of them's got a knife to Perry's throat. And they go running over there. Jimmy and Roberta drive over there on Jimmy's little scooter thing. And they realize, oh, my God, the Daily Planet, it's burning. It's on fire. Oh, no. That was all issue 2. Issue 2 was a big one. Oh my God. On to issue 3. Clark in some other flashback has met Lana Lang. They're at a fair together.
I love this design for Lana Lang. It makes her look like a Professor Layton character.
Yeah.
It is, because it's like, this is like 1925 or whatever. This is like 15 to 20 years earlier. Oh yeah, so it's 9 years earlier. But it's like, it's very much, it's not the fashion of what I think of the 30s. It's more of like the 20s. But it's so cute. And I love Lana when she saves him from bullies. And yes, this flashback's great, where they see the mighty Samson, and Clark's like, hey, that's the guy who took our ticket. And she's like, what? That guy was bald and he didn't have confidence.
Yeah. But there's a rainstorm happening, and like lightning hits the tent and causes a fire, and the lion's going crazy and is going to attack the mighty Samson. And Clark stops the lion, and afterwards the mighty Samson like, wow, they call me the world's strongest man, but you actually saved me. And Clark is talking to him like, I've been afraid that I'd scare people if they knew what I could do. And he's like, hey, you know what I did? I got a costume, and it was super colorful, and that helped. And later, his mom has made him a costume, and he's like, all right, that makes me feel good.
I don't know if any of this is like accurate to canon at all, but I do like. I mean, it is a circus costume, like obviously.
Yes.
So, Like, I like that it like puts it's everything that Superman's power development or costume development seems like this is like a good Superman origin story baked into this story. It's really well done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. As much as I hate the like, oh, it's actually a symbol for hope or whatever, like retcon that was in Smallville and comics of the 2000s. They're like, it's an S. Let them think it's an S. Who cares?
Yeah.
That's how they get, yeah. It's not an S, but sure, they could have thought it was a 5. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Cool.
Now I'm thinking they should make a Superman game in the Professor Layton style. That'd be fun. Like
Oh.
a Superman little mini puzzles to keep the
Oh,
story
that would
going.
be fun.
I'd be all about it.
Like Lex Luthor stole how many cakes, and you have to like calculate how many cakes he stole.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
So I did do a video like forever ago on our YouTube channel, and it was for the video game Superman Returns, the 2005 game for Game Boy Advance based on the Brandon Routh movie. And like it has like pictures on the back of like Superman flying. That is singularly a mini game, and the rest of it is just like phone games Superman would play in the Fortress of Solitude. Like it's all like brain teaser puzzles, and then like one little mini game where you fly as Superman for the Game Boy Advance. It's like from '05. It's crazy. So yeah, it's basically exactly what you said, except there's not a Professor Layton story around it.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
All right, like a
Oh,
Candy Crush type thing, but you're in like with like the crystals of the fortress.
Exactly.
Oh wow. Wild. All right. So back into the story here. All of the clan is more clan members are showing up or something here at the Daily Planet. Superman's putting out the fire. Again, I didn't take notes, so I'm flipping back through this to remember what happened here. Chuck and Tommy are having a conversation, and Chuck is just confused. This poor kid. He was like, I want to know that my family's not evil, and he's like, is it really so bad to not want to live around a different kind?
Go back to Chinatown, man. It's fine.
And Tommy's like, what the fuck are you talking about after all that we've been through? And Chuck is like, look, I just don't know. Like, are we on the same team or not? And like, Tommy's like, whatever, I'm out of here. I'll see you around.
I do like Tommy's like, look, man, like, yeah, Chinatown was nice, but like this place, like I can wear, I actually have a hat and a uniform for baseball. That's pretty fucking dope. Like I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like it's not the same. Like, yeah, just go back to whatever. It's the exact same. And it's like, no, it's not. It's different. It's very good.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, we're all separated, and just I have the best stuff. It just worked out that way.
Yeah, it's separate and equal. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. So meanwhile, the Klansmen have kidnapped Perry White, Lois Lane, and Inspector Henderson. Got them tied up in, I don't know, some Klan room. The Grand Scorpion, Uncle Matt, he's got this this sword. It's a famous historical Klan sword with a storied past. That's what the loyal knight who gifted it to him told him. But there's a $2.99 price tag hanging from it that Lois notices, and he's like, "What? No, shut up!" And as he goes to attack them with it, Superman busts through the wall, saves them all. The sword breaks on Superman's body. They try to punch Superman. Superman just kind of flicks them away. Arrests a bunch of them, but I think the Grand Scorpion gets away here. No, they all get arrested, right? And that one shitty cop from before is like, "Don't worry, Grand Scorpion, I'll get you out soon." I'm like, oh, okay, great. We've got a nice scene with Superman and Roberta. Roberta, who we were mentioning before, gets super motion sick. And like when Superman was carrying her, she was getting motion sick. He jumped over a river and she was like, "Oh my God." And she was like, "Okay, I'm okay." But she was kind of noticing like the descent didn't feel like they just like hit the ground. It felt like gravity kind of stopped around him and they just landed softly. She's talking to Superman like, "I feel like you can do this. I feel like you're purposefully limiting yourself." And she's got a theory that he's doing it on purpose so that he can fit in better. Like he just wants to be like everyone else. And she says, "Superman, I wish it was okay for you to fly." And Superman runs off, goes down to the bottom of goes to see his parents first, and then goes down to the bottom of the river where through that device, and there's like kind of a fortress of solitude there that's grown out of ice. Is that like, I don't know, is that real? Did that device do this? His parents aren't really there. They're like a recording kind of thing,
Right.
that can talk to him. But then he meets his parents.
Well, yeah, because I think Ma and Pa Kent knew it was there, but they hadn't
Yeah.
told. And it's Lake Solitude. There's a sign I'm just seeing now.
Yeah.
But like, I guess even at this point, he didn't know explicitly that how much Kryptonian he really was.
Right.
And they don't even say it explicitly in the book. He's like, I need to know for real. This never changes anything between us, but I do need to know. And so then then he goes down to the lake. That's what happens.
Yeah,
so this is his first time ever there.
And I think it's very sweet that it's just like, Superman, like, I know you're passing, but like, I get the sense that like you actually are not just a regular person. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's because again, like the Tommy, his conflict is kind of like, oh, like people get along with him. Like he's just like, oh, I could just be like an American kid, but it's just like, oh, but you're actually Chinese. Like, it's kind of important to remember you're not just this. And Superman being like, you're not just a powerful guy, like you're actually an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So then Uncle Matt, the Grand Scorpion, goes to meet his boss to ask him for help, who turns out to be that head doctor who looks like Teddy Roosevelt with the fluffy mustache. No.
I was gonna say, this is just a drawing of Teddy Roosevelt now that I'm looking at it.
And he was the nice one at the beginning.
He was the nice scientist.
And what's his name? I don't
He's
even
the
remember.
Grand Imperial Mogul is what.
Sure, we'll call him that. The Grand Imperial Mogul tells Uncle Matt, like, hey, what have you been doing? Like, you launched an attack on the city's most prominent newspaper, like, and you've got Superman against us. Like, what the hell? Like, we're trying to start a membership drive. You're costing us money. He's like, money? What are you talking about? And he says, like, I guess this happens in a later scene, but he's like, none of this shit is about actual racism. Like, you kidding me? You actually believe that stupid shit? No, we're just making money off of the idiots who believe that shit. Like, come on, man.
It's $100 to initiate each one. They're going to pay dues. They're going to pay $25 for robes. This is a money-making machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and you're a true believer, you fucking idiot.
This is an MLM, like everything else in America.
Roberta and Tommy's dad quit the Department of Health because, like, I don't think they were actually on the up and up. Did we skip the part where Lois already discovered, like, oh, wait a minute, they're funding. They weren't like actually funded by the city. They were just like an independent organization called the Department of Health.
It sounded like legit, and it really wasn't like the Something Research Institute that has like no real researching accreditation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And somebody's at the door while they're eating breakfast, and it's Lois Lane who shows up at Roberta's house with a special gift for her. It's a pen. Because it's the most powerful instrument in the world, and she's a budding young reporter. Oh, how sweet. And then we get Superman, more of talking to his parents. They tell him about how their planet was dying. They put him in a rocket to this planet, and they're like, we knew the sun would give you powers, that kind of thing. Roberta goes digging through a bunch of her dad's stuff that he like still had from the health department. I don't know why her dad would be alone to like allowed to bring some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a big round metal lead ball. She's like, what's going on with this? And she's like, wait a minute. I like she's doing all her research and she learns all about what this thing is.
So Dad probably said he just quit. Dad probably saw some sketchy shit and stole it, and then was going to report it somehow. Like that's probably what happened, and the kids don't understand that. That'd be my guess.
Here we go. Now is this scene of the mogul talking to the Scorpion.
Wilson is his name also.
Dr. Wilson. Yep. um, showing Uncle Matt, this guy that they've got in the test tube, and what their whole secret plan is. That they're really going to try and kill Superman because he is the ultimate alien. We put the Nazi space rock in this guy. And Roberta realizes that inside this lead thing is like also a little piece of this rock. Um, and then Dr. Wilson turns his kryptonite gun on Uncle Matt and is like, I'm going to kill you because you're a fucking idiot. And Uncle Matt is turning on this guy to fight him and take the gun for himself because he's like, you're a traitor. You don't actually believe in any of this stuff. And then we've got our first baseball game. Hooray. I kind of thought the book was ending at this point, but then there's more stuff happening.
Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, we've wrapped up. Like, she got the pen. He quit the job.
Exactly. Lois giving her the pen is such a like wrap up moment, you know? And it was like, oh no, we've got more adventure happening.
Yeah, because Uncle Matt gets his comeuppance by being told he's an idiot by the Grand Mogul. Like, that's
right.
Like, that's your end. But I guess we gotta kill the Grand Mogul, and we gotta have Matt go off the rails. So
we gotta have a anime, like the most anime panel in this whole book when he's like on the mound with his like ray gun, his crazy hair.
Mm-hmm. And he's grabbed Roberta by the arm at this baseball game where everyone's there, and he's like, I'm the Grand Scorpion, I'm here. He's gonna shoot a gun at people. I don't even know who. And his son or his nephew Chuck hits him with a baseball bat to knock the thing out. Roberta kicks him. Tommy punches him. They're all beating up on him, and then Superman shows up, fully unleashed. He's floating in the air. He's shooting laser eyes, and all the people are looking at him. And some people are like, monster demons, and Uncle Matt is like, oh yeah, your beloved Superman's actually an alien, and some people are on his side, but then, other people are shouting like, are you kidding me? He's still good, and Superman's saying like, oh, yeah, I'm from another planet, but I'm still here fighting for y'all. But this guy shoots him with his kryptonite gun, and Superman does feel weaker. So Roberta, who has brought this lead ball with her, throws it to Superman, who can like use it to clog up the gun, explode it. They go flying up in space. This guy's got a kryptonite knife. I guess kryptonite is like a good. Stab Superman in the chest, and they're falling, but don't worry, Superman's okay. And the game is canceled because shit went crazy, but everyone is friends now, and everything is okay. And Lois writes an article on Superman, talking about who he is. Roberta shows up and says, hey, Lois, I wanted to give you this pen back. It's just like too expensive. I can't accept it. Plus you... like it's got your initials on it, LL, and Lois is like, no, I've done my research. I know your real name is Lan Shin. It's Lan Shin Lee. Like, this is your pen. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, she's kind of starts owning her original Chinese name again. Nice little parallels there between this girl's story and Superman's story, and that is the actual end of the book. Hooray!
Superman smashed the Klan.
Smashed the Klan. Got them out of it. So yeah, overall, like, really good, honestly. Like, that was a good story, even if it was like kind of it was kiddie, but like it's like nuanced. It was a little bit of everything. Like, but as a result of that, I'm also like, who is this for? Like, it seems a little too mature for kids, but also I don't know. I'm confused by it in a way. But it's good. Vince, you just give us some final thoughts.
I mean, I've read it before. I read it again this time though, and I really like it. I always like Gurihiru's art. I think their art is just fantastic, and I would like more comics to look like it because I like the bright colors. I think I'm surprised because I'm like, oh, this is going to be very ham-handed and preachy, and I don't think it's a very preachy book. I think you get what you like. Superman beats up a bunch of racists. And then like there's all and like and the action is good. I like the Superman origin stuff. I think all the stuff with Roberta and Tommy works really well. They're good like kid protagonists. They're not like, oh, this is boring. Get back to the Superman stuff. Like they're all like good and meaningful, and I enjoy that. I think the nuance of like there's like very like obvious racists, but then like undercurrent racists is really interesting. Mixed with the, like this is just a money making venture, which is somehow like weirdly more insidious to me. It's got so much going on. And I really think it's a good book. I mean I'm sure that like if you gave it to like a preteen, they'd read it and they or a kid, they're like, Superman beat up some guys. I care about my heroes, but like they're not gonna get necessarily all the nuance. And then like very much like in 2019, 2020, like George Floyd era, yes, this is very obvious what's going on as a reader. So I think it's just a really well done comic book. I like the history lessons at the back. And when people were talking about like they're like, I like the Superman movie. What Superman comics should I read? They're talking about like All Star Superman, Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, For All Seasons, Kingdom Come, and I'm like, I think you should read Superman Smashes the Klan if you like the movie. Like I feel like that's probably like in a similar vein, although I haven't seen the movie, but like I think it's a good solid Superman story.
Yeah.
Chris?
I loved it. I also have read this before. I think it's great. I love that it's accurate to, this is a post-war Smallville. It's a, golden age kind of Superman, so it's not the Superman we're used to, and I love all the explanations of all that. I thought it did such a good job of which is, I mean, it's kind of like one of those metaphors that, it's like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where they try to, make a metaphor too strained, and you're like, well, that's not really what it is. It's like, oh, if you sleep with a guy, he'll become a 300-year-old vampire and become evil again. That's kind of a silly metaphor. But the metaphor of like Superman is an alien, he is an immigrant, and he is like, in a way, he's doing the same thing that her parents are doing, which is like, no, I want to fit in. I want to be like a good citizen. But it's just like, okay, but that's all well and good, but also you're Superman. Like you can do all these other things, and you can actually do more good if you be yourself, and don't try to just be like a regular person. So I like the message of it. I love all the art and the costumes. And I mean, it's weird to say costumes, but like the 1940s Lois Lane and the 1920s and 30s Lana Lang. I'm like, these are great designs. Yeah. Like I love all of that, and I like Roberta as well. I did like that Lois gives her like an engraved thing that says LL, which makes me worried that one day Superman will fall in love with her, perhaps under some sort of Mr. Mxyzptlk's curse situation. But I thought it was very cute. I liked it a lot.
And like this really could have easily just been like a racism bad story and that's it, you know what I mean? But adding, like, kind of making the focus, the like owning your heritage kind of stuff, really did give the book, it made the book so much more than I expected it to be, which I think is overall a very good thing. Like it was just kind of it just made it interesting. It gave me something to like, especially as a minority. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that applies. So yeah, overall, really good. Yeah. Okay. Anything else to say about it?
No, I like it. I've never read American Born Chinese by this writer. I always see that.
Is that a comic as well, or is that a book?
I always thought it was. I think it won like awards. I don't know when it was published. It's like a little graphic novel. It's from like First Second Publishing. It's probably like Fun Home or anything like that kind of like type of book. I think it's about his life, being an American-born Chinese, and it's probably about 200 pages. But I've never read.
They made a sitcom out of it.
Yeah, they did. Like I want to say like on Disney Plus or something recently.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always saw it at Half Price Books, but always when you see like 20 copies of a book at Half Price Books, you're like, is this good or is this bad? Because there's so many of them here. So. But yeah, I've always heard good things. I've just never read it.
Is Half Price Books still around?
Yep.
Wow.
They closed the good one on Hildebrand. But Not Hildebrand on
on
Broadway.
Broadway.
Yeah, the 2-story one over by Trinity. They closed that one, but there's
That's a
still one
bummer.
by my house.
They still have the one over on 410, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep. They were
that's
in
good.
Houston area too, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, they're still in Houston. The ones like the one that was in like Montrose by where I went to law school, that shopping center has now been completely knocked down to be
wow.
like a farmer's market. So that's just all of it's gone. And then they had another one that was by Rice University that I'm sure the rent just got too crazy, and so that one's gone. But they're still in the suburbs. If you go to like Sugarland or Katy or whatever, you can still find them.
So the moral of the story is don't be a Half Price Books next to a college.
No, it's too expensive.
This is all very specific to our Central Texas listeners.
Yes. We're owning our heritage, Kia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. When are we going to get a Texas History Month? All right. A Half Price Books in Texas History Month. That's what we need.
Yep, a whole month.
And
I want one of the long ones, 31-day month or nothing.
Yeah, give us a long month. All right. So, anything else to say about this book before we go on to Thunderbolts?
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. So on to Thunderbolts. We are on issue number 22. At the end of the last one, Hawkeye said he was going to start leading the team, but only if Mach 1, Abe, turns himself in for murder. So we're picking up there, although this issue starts with a recap of Avengers Under Siege, which, according to the editor's note, is on sale next week in this comic. But it's about,
or you can read it. We covered that, I think, episode 2.
Yeah,
I want to say.
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds familiar because the Masters of Evil, all like a bunch of them teamed up and attacked the Avengers. And in this recap, we learned that Goliath gave Hercules brain damage, which I kind of vaguely remember from when we were reading it here. But that's to set us up for later here. Goliath is currently Atlas. It was Atlas's old supervillain persona, gave Hercules brain damage. I can imagine, because the cover says it's going to be Hercules versus Atlas, that Hercules is not pleased about this.
I'm sorry. Episode 41, by the way, was Under Siege.
41?
From November 2016.
Wow. What episode is this? Is this 249?
Yep, 249.
Oh my God, we're coming up on 250. Big milestone. Make sure you join us next time for that. It's going to be huge.
It's going to be freaky.
Freaky 250. All right, we'll get to that later. But so we join back up with the team. Hawkeye is talking to them, and it's like, yeah, Mach 1, you killed this doctor, Dr. Jared Goulding. And yeah, he might have been evil. He was like this guy who like stitches up supervillains or whatever. But back when Mach 1 was the Beetle, he electrocuted him as like a message for like, hey, you got to pay off your mob debts or whatever. And Abe is just like, I got to think about this, and he flies off. We get Melissa kind of being like, what the hell? Why does he got to turn himself in when Moonstone, she's wanting to say when Moonstone killed that alien king guy in the microverse, but Moonstone's like, oh yeah, we were just having a conversation earlier about like Wolverine and the Punisher, and they're killers, and they're not wanted or whatever. And Hawkeye's like, yeah, but they're not Avengers either.
And they'll never be Avengers.
They're never. Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe one day. But also Hawkeye does sense something suspicious there, but he doesn't really get a chance to follow up on it because Hercules busts in looking for Goliath. And Hawkeye tries to stop him. He's like, hey, I'm leading this team now. They're trying to turn good. Atlas tries to give a pretty genuine apology to Hercules, but Hercules is not having it, and he punches him out.
I do like that part of his apology, and he's apologized. He's said it before. He's just like, look, I used to be like crazy. So like, Not anymore. Don't worry about it.
Like, honestly, and like, yeah, what can you say to that? Like, yeah, they're trying to do good. But Jolt is really pissed at this. Like, the guy was apologizing. You punched him, so Jolt attacks Hercules. And then everyone basically joins the fight. Moonstone is not really fighting at first. She's kind of trying to talk him down. It's like, hey, you're being like, everyone knows you're a little bit weaker. And like, oh, you're getting defensive. And she's kind of trying to, like, I don't know, just get in his head a little bit. But then Hawkeye gets knocked out, and she's like, God, well, I was hoping Hawkeye would be able to talk him down after I got into his head. So I guess we're just going to fight now. Meanwhile, that reporter, Gail Rogers, her team brings her a picture of Hawkeye helping Melissa and Abe escape on his little Avengers motorcycle thing. What are those things called? Those flying motorcycles? I like those things. I like that Hawkeye has one of those.
That's is that Demon Knights or something thing?
Oh, it was like that steed that he was using, like that fake, not a horse.
When he was
like,
pretending to be that metal robot knight thing.
But I feel like he's always flown around on those things. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it from this. Maybe this is the most Hawkeye I've ever read in most comics is from Thunderbolts.
He definitely had one when he worked, when he wasn't working for between Avengers and Avengers West Coast. He had one of these things when he's working security for an obviously evil company.
Yeah. So her team is like, hey, they said we want to make sure, like, we haven't run it yet because we don't know how we want to spin things. What do you want to do with this picture? Abe, Mach 1, he's brooding on a hill, thinking about what to do. Not much to say there. Atlas wakes up from being punched out and sees everybody fighting, and he's like, all right, this is my fight. Keep the rest of the team out of it. It's just you and me, Hercules. But just like, don't hurt them. This is me. And Hercules just keeps saying, don't tell me what to do, man. I'm going to fight who I want to fight. While they're fighting, Mach 1 flies back and starts helping, which really just enrages Hercules anymore. He picks up a giant slab of rock and is like, I'm gonna kill y'all. And Hawkeye stands in his way, saying, hey, look, I was just talking to these folks about how you can't kill if you're going to be an Avenger. And so you're going to make me look like an idiot if you kill people, and that'd be a really shitty thing to do. And so Hercules finally stands down and he's like, but like, Hawkeye, you and I are not friends anymore. And the rest of the team respects Hawkeye for standing up for them. And Abe agrees to go to jail. Moonstone is kind of wondering, like, did Hawkeye and Hercules set this up to build trust? But like, nah, Hercules is not that good of an actor. I think this is genuine. And then this issue ends with a nice scene of Abe and Melissa talking about things just to end the issue. And he's like, I may be leaving, but, I promise I'll always be there for you. I have to do this so that y'all have a chance. All that kind of stuff. And in the very, very end, we see that Gail Rogers is running this story about Hawkeye. What's going on? He's linked up with the Thunderbolts, and it's in the papers, and we see the paper being delivered to Avengers Mansion because they don't watch the news. They got to wait for the newspaper to get their story. In our little blurb for next time, we see that before Thunderbolts 23, they're doing like an Avengers versus Thunderbolts thing. And number 12, don't worry, we're not going to read it. I flipped through it. All you need to know is there's a little bit of a fight, and Hawkeye rips up his Avengers membership card. What?
Oh, man.
Oh, no. So that's all you need to know from Avengers number 12. And then we're getting on to Thunderbolts number 23 next time. So we'll see what happens there. But our main read for next time, the movie that is on everyone's lips right now, the comic book movie that everyone's talking about. FF. No, not Fantastic Four, not Fooper Fan. We're talking about
the Foo Fighters.
Freakier, the Foo Fighters. No, we're talking about Freakier Friday. That's right. We're doing a Freakier Friday tie-in with some body swap super special issues. Vince, this is your idea. You just wanted to do some body swap stories?
I did. One, I always really liked the Ultimate Spider-Man issues where he switched bodies with Wolverine. Thought that was great. Chris told me that there's an issue where Doctor Doom and Daredevil switch bodies. Sounds fantastic. And then there's apparently also an issue where Iceman and Emma Frost switch bodies also. This is amazing. So I just want to read some stupid comics about body swapping, because it seems like maybe they'll walk a mile in each other's shoes and learn something about each other, or maybe not. It also just reminds me of that one where Lex Luthor got in the body of Flash in the cartoon. He's like, I'm finally gonna figure out the Flash's secret identity, and he takes off Flash's mask. He's like, I have no idea who this is. It's good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna be reading Ultimate Spider-Man 66 and 67, the first volume of that. Uncanny X-Men number 314. That's where Emma Frost and Iceman switch bodies. And then Daredevil 37, the original Daredevil run, where he switches bodies with Doctor Doom. So again, you can check this out on the website or in the show notes. Ultimate Spider-Man 66, 67, Uncanny 314, and Daredevil 37. So check it out.
Wow. Do you think Jamie Lee Curtis would be a good Emma Frost? Do you think Lindsay Lohan would be a good Iceman?
Whoa. I think
No,
in this new
and
one,
no.
I think in this new one, Lindsay Lohan's like marrying a dude, and Lindsay Lohan's daughter and her new stepdaughter are also in the mix. So it's a 4-body swap in the Freakier Friday. Yeah, I know, right?
This family is cursed.
Yeah.
Vanessa Bayer curses them in the trailer, it looks like. So, friend of the show.
Wait, hold on. Who is Vanessa Bayer? She is no friend of mine.
She's a fortune teller. Vanessa Bayer from Saturday Night Live.
I was gonna say she plays the bar mitzvah boy.
She loves her hungry guys with the Totinos.
I'm sorry. You're right. I forgot her name.
Yes,
completely.
The woman who has
I
like
thought
a
you
big...
were talking about a bear. B-E-A-R.
Vanessa Bayer.
No, Vanessa Bayer, has like such a big toothy smile that she can like stop smiling and still has her face like in a smile.
True.
Friend of the show.
So yeah, next time Thunderbolts 23 and a bunch of Freakier Friday stories, and we're gonna pretend like Jamie Lee Curtis is in all of them. What else we got going on? Chris, how's your Stupid Minds podcast going?
It's going great. We just covered the War of the Worlds film that came out in 2025, starring Ice Cube, that just came out on streaming.
What?
It is a Screen Life movie that takes place entirely on Ice Cube's desktop computer. It is one of the worst movies I've seen in a very long time.
What did he?
Very
was it Friday
stupid.
and he didn't have shit to do? What happened?
Well, if you've seen the War of the Worlds, it turns out there's aliens, and the only thing that can stop them is cancer cells or some bullshit. But he has to like watch live streams on YouTube, and he has to like watch clips and read PDFs as we watch over his shoulder as he does these things.
What?
Vince, I know you were just saying a random thing with like, was this a Friday and he had nothing better to do? Is this in the Friday universe? Is this like a...
Yep. This is
I
the
bet it is.
Friday after next Friday.
Now, wait a minute. Did they ever do a Freaky Friday sequel to Friday where they switch
Freaky
places?
Friday after next?
Oh.
Next.
Oh, yeah.
I remember we kept saying the Frida Kahlo sequel should be called Next Frida. But then
And Frida after next. Oh, man.
This is gonna be like how the last Karate Kid movie was like combining the Jackie Chan Karate Kid with the Pat Morita Karate Kid universes. Like we're gonna combine Friday and Freaky Friday.
Wow. All right. Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, Tom Cruise, and Ice Cube in a Freaky Friday War of the Worlds movie. That's what I want.
oh yeah, I want Chris
That's
Tucker
what
involved
everyone
somehow,
wants.
but I don't know how. I think he's just gonna scream at everybody being freaked out.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. Vince, what's going on with you?
I got nothing unless you want to see my new movie, Next Frida, in theaters, only in theaters, 2027.
Nope.
Nope, I'm good. Pass. No other
Nope.
plugs. I'm done.
Do
what
I
you
got
got?
plugs? I'm still rewatching Fringe here. I'm at the end of season 4, which is when it gets really shitty. It gets bad at the end of season 4.
It's a 5-season show.
It's a 5-season show. You can safely stop after season 3. Although season 4 is better if you know it's shitty, and then you're like, okay, I can kind of handle this. But then the end of season 4, like even knowing it's shitty will not prepare you for just how stupid it gets. So that's my plug. Fringe gets shitty. And I think that's it. Vince, I love you.
Love you, buddy.
Chris, I love you.
I'm your parents, Kia. We love you, both of us.
You know what? I'll take it. That's the most Chris has told me that he loves me. I don't think. Is Chris really both of my parents? Is that possible?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Search your heart. You know it to be true.
But only you can see me, Kia.
All right.
You're wearing a nice alien 1940s dress. It's a good look.
Wait,
Chris.
Exactly.
Am I also the only one who can hear you?
Yeah, this has been a very weird episode.
It's a weird podcast. If this whole time the listeners have not, like, we're just kind of randomly silent every once in a while.
Yeah, it's just me and Kia talking, and then there's and
listeners. I don't know if Vince and Chris are lying to me, and I also currently don't know if Chris is real. So if you can hear Chris, please leave us a comment on allmyfriendsareghthere.com, because sometimes I should remember to plug the website where we have some stuff there.
Yep.
So take a look at that, and I hope I'm not going crazy. Listeners, we love you too. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.